Hello, class. We are here once again in this room. And apparently I am way smarter than usual. That's because we're going to try something brand new. But first things first, greetings creatures and humans alike. I am MagiQDog, and tonight we shall be learning about... Let's see, scribble. Give me just... no. Scribble. Okay, we are going to be learning about the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who. And, yeah. We're going to try like a brand new method. That way, it'll be easier for y'all to learn about this and any other creature. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. First things first, we're going to... There we go. Alright. Here we go. Oh, right. Maybe I should do this first. There we go. Now then, up here. Oh, wait, no. I'm already messing up. Okay, let's get started. The Yara-Ma-Yha-Who is an infamous and dreaded vampiric red humanoid that roams the wild outbacks of Australia. Appearance. The Yara-Ma-Yha-Who are humanoid in shape, appearing like a short man standing around 3 feet tall or so. However, unlike a man, the Yara is red in color, like blood. Sometimes they may have fur or hair, or sometimes being hairless. Another feature is that it's got a large head with a huge mouth, but strangely it's got no teeth like a toddler. But even stranger is that its fingers and toes ends with suckers as if it was the suckers of an octopus, which it uses for its primary hunting. Also, the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who also have some characteristics of frogs. For example, they may have a frog-shaped head, frog-like eyes, or even how their mouths may appear like that of a frog. Overall, though, they are just strange-looking little red humanoids. Sorry about that. Anyways, grow in mythology. Yara-Ma-Yha-Who are spiritual predators that live out in the wilds of the outback. They would normally hang onto their fig trees, using their suckers at the tip of their toes and fingers to hang on. They will wait at these trees for days to ambush any humans, especially children, that needed a rest under the tree. The Yara-Ma-Yha-Who will use their strong legs to jump and pounce onto the human. Then they'll use their suckers on their fingers and toes to bite and suck up the human blood. But not all of the blood to kill them, only to immobilize them. Once their victim can't move, the Yara will walk off to work up an appetite for itself. Once it returns, it will enact a certain ritual that they must perform to check whether their victims are alive. Once the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who sees that its victim is alive, which in most cases they are still alive, the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who would then swallow their prey whole, like a python. After eating their prey whole, the little menace would do a special dance where they would shake their bellies up and down to make sure the human prey, who is still alive and conscious, by the way, is within their stomach. After the dance, they will go and take a power nap near a river or watering area to digest part of their food. And of course, take a drink too before taking this said nap. Afterwards, when the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who wakes up, it will then regurgitate the human victim. The humans themselves are still alive despite all they went through, and would then flee to return home, while the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who would disappear back into the fig tree to rest up for the day. Powers. The Yara-Ma-Yha-Who, despite being a funny-looking small creature, is considered feared and dangerous, and that's due to how they use their powers to hunt down human prey. They are perfect ambush hunters, with them being undetectable in the trees until the attack starts. They also seem to have quite a flexible and agile bodies with short bursts of speed to capture their prey. They are also surprisingly strong for their small stature. Their legs are also quite strong to allow them to have excellent jumping abilities. Even though they are slow whenever they're trying to chase after a prey, which I'll get to that in a bit. They also seem to have excellent eyesight during the day and sense of touch to detect prey near them. Just like vampires, they are capable of draining human blood with enough control due to their strange suckers. It's also these suckers that gives the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who the ability to latch onto prey and not letting them go until the blood is drained. They also have a strong yet flexible jaw and belly to allow them to swallow human prey while giving them, which kind of gives them like a snake-like ability of consumption. They are also crafty creatures despite their wild behavior. But the most surprising fact is that these beings are spiritual beings that are connected to the fig tree they live in. So even if you manage to kill it, it will eventually return to hunt again if you don't take the right precautions. Weaknesses. With these abilities, the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who is considered a feared predator. However, there are known weaknesses that have been passed down through the Aboriginals' teaching. While it is difficult to detect them, avoiding resting under any fig tree in general would keep you safe, since they can only live in ambush on a fig tree. But if you are attacked and immobilized, the next best strategy is to simply play dead. That's right, playing possum will save your life. The Yara-Ma-Yha-Who will not swallow any human if they are believed they are dead. However, they will start a ritual to see if you are alive, and after using the ritual, they hide and wait to see if you are still alive. At this point, you are still playing dead and keeping yourself from becoming a meal. But what's next? Next up is their other weakness, which is nighttime. They are daytime creatures and they will return to their fig tree to go to sleep during the night. Once the Yara is asleep and once you regain your strength, it'll be safe to get up and flee from the wilderness. Now, these weaknesses may seem fine, but what if you have to fend off the creature? Luckily, you are able to harm or kill the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who who is chasing you. Salt water is said to dehydrate the Yara quickly and can kill it. Another weakness is that they have basically the wooden stake of the fig tree itself. So, like I said, if you're able to fashion out a stake out of the said tree, you can use it as a weapon to attack it. And once it's dead, you must also burn it and its fig tree to keep its spirit from coming back. And speaking of spirits, there is another weakness, and that is this ritual. But I'll explain that in a second. With all these weaknesses, you may feel safer to walk through the outback. Just kidding, there are still animals that'll try to kill you out there. Let's see. Feeding. As we have become aware now, the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who must drain the blood and swallow a person whole to eat. But why do they have to go through a certain ritualistic method just to eat? Well, this is because of a spiritual pact-like connection with the fig tree. According to Aboriginal legends, the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who are spirit men that live with the spirits of the fig trees. This is why they only live on the fig tree and not anywhere else. The spirit of the fig tree will allow them to live on their trees and seem to have a coexistence with one another. However, the fig tree spirit will actually kill a Yara-Ma-Yha-Who if they break a certain ritual, which is their ritual of hunting and feeding. A Yara-Ma-Yha-Who must perform their hunting ritual correctly, or if not, the spirit of the fig tree will mumble words or a type of spell into their ear, and this will result in the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who to transform into a cold fungus that'll grow on the tree. This is the Yara's biggest weakness, and truly killing it without burning the tree. It's because of this it's because of this that I lost track. Hang on. Take two. It's because of this that the Yara will make sure they carry out their hunting ritual perfectly. But what is this ritual? Well, it's actually a simple task. First, after they attack the victim, they will go out and walk about 5 paces around to work up an appetite. Whether this is part of the ritual or just them getting hungry is up to debate. Once they return, they'll start checking if the human's alive by poking them with a stick. Next, they'll take another 10 paces and come back to tickle the human around the neck or under the arms. Then finally, they'll take a 50-yard stroll before coming back and tickle the victim some more. If the human is still playing dead at this point, the Yara will walk off and hide behind a bush or get some distance to watch the human to see if they move. If a human reacts and reveals that they're still alive during any time of the Yara's ritual, then the Yaras can forget about the rest of the ritual and start swallowing the human prey whole. After they swallow, they'll perform a dance to have the human slide down to the stomach. Although whether this dance is part of the ritual or just them adjusting the human prey is up to the... is up for debate. Although whether this part of the dance... Oh my goodness. Okay, take 3. Although whether this dance is part of the ritual or just them adjusting the human prey is up to debate again. Then they'll go get some water to drink and then take a power nap. After their nap, they'll vomit the human and end their hunting and their ritual for the day. Okay, that was a lot. I have messed up big time. Reproducing. Now, we should learn about how they feed and why they need to feed. So you're probably wondering to yourself, why are they so feared if all that happens is that you just lose some blood, get eaten for a bit, and then you get thrown up? It seems like the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who doesn't really kill you, and you get to walk away from a bizarre moment. Well, that might seem the case. After all, it's really rare for someone to get killed by a Yara-Ma-Yha-Who, so the survival rate is actually high. However, before y'all start thinking it's okay to get eaten, and I even know some of y'all have some weird kinks, you sick little But, let me tell you this. You still don't want to end up getting eaten by one. And this is a major reason why the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who are feared predators. If you get eaten by a Yara-Ma-Yha-Who, sooner or later, you will become a Yara-Ma... Jesus Christ. If you get eaten by a Yara-Ma-Yha-Who, sooner or later, you will become a Yara-Ma-Yha-Who yourself. Let me explain. Yes, a human will survive being attacked and eaten, but whenever they are spit out, they find themselves suddenly shorter than before and starting to have a redder skin color than before. This slight transformation, at the very start, may not seem much, as you will still live a human life, with you just slightly different than before. However, once a human was eaten by a Yara-Ma-Yha-Who, they will often find themselves targeted yet again by the same or a different Yara. It's not known if the Yara may have a power to find you again, or if they can sense you, but regardless the case, a human that was once a victim of a Yara attack will in a lot of cases find themselves attacked again. After each attack, the human will come out shorter yet again and become more redder than ever. Eventually, the transformations will become too much, and once a human is swallowed for the last time and then spit out, they will come out fully transformed into a Yara-Ma-Yha-Who themselves, both in body and in mind. They will then abandon their human life in general and go live out in the outback and find their own fig tree to live on. This is how the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who populate, and this is why they are feared predators that the aboriginals stay away from. Kinda scary if you think about it. Kinda, but not a vampire. Now, with you learning about how they hunt and drain blood, I'm sure you're thinking that a Yara-Ma-Yha-Who must be a type of vampire or related to vampires in some way. And while they are vampiric, that is for sure, they aren't technically vampires either. I know with some accounts from other books, maybe some movie here and there, or even a YouTube channels may lead you to believe that a Yara-Ma-Yha-Who is a type of vampire. But I assure you, they aren't. And I have these reasons for this statement. The primary reason is a simple question of what is a vampire. Well, as you all know, vampires are reanimated physical undeads that target after human or humanoid blood or life force as their main feeding source. Now you're asking why this matters. Well, that's because the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who is never described as an undead being. They are always told as spirit mans or wild beasts of the outback. They are described as being living beings who drain blood like vampires, but they aren't vampires themselves. Another reason is the fact that they are more spiritual beings of the wilderness than being a vengeful, bloodthirsty undead as well. Whew. Lastly, and with it... Oh my goodness gracious, I am messing up big time. Y'all can tell that it's been a while since I've done this creature of the week. Ah, okay. Lastly, and this with them being related to being living beings, they can breed and populate themselves. Sure, it's through transforming humanoid victims into their own kind, but it's still not through curses or some kind of act upon a person's death that makes them rise up from the grave again. With these facts, the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who is not a true vampire. However, they are vampiric creatures that target humans for their bodies and blood, and as such, they are often seen as a type of Australian vampire to the rest of the world. Popularity. And speaking of the rest of the world, the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who was able to spread its tail across the globe thanks to David Unipod, or Unipod, however you pronounce his name. Anyways, he is a preacher and author who recounted the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who's tales after speaking with Australian Aboriginals about their legend. Thanks to his books and recounting of the tales, the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who has become one of the most famous Australian mythical creatures told, and their legends now appear in media and pop cultures. With movies, the only known one that I could find is the 2010 university student film that's about the creature called Yara-Ma-Yha-Who by artist Victoria A/4 Art. For chosen TV series, PBS Monstrum series had an episode that focused on the myth of the creatures. And while I couldn't find any Yara-Ma-Yha-Whos in cartoons or even in anime and manga for that matter, I was able to find that they do appear in a Scooby-Doo comic. In video games, they appear in Final Fantasy, trying to remember my Roman numerals. It's got like an X and a I. Let's see. I think it's Final Fantasy 6. But anyways, they appear as rare spawn monsters. And in Wizard 101, which, wow, that's a long time ago, they appear in the side quest with it named Yara-Ma-Yha-Who Done It. Yara-Ma-Yha-Who Done It now. Anyways, within books, they appear in mythology books and illustrations, like the Mythical Guide illustration, Vampires, Werewolves, and Zombies by Lisa Reagan, and the Mythical Creature Bible by Brenda Rosen. By the way, I have both of those books, and they are good reads for creature fanatics. And there's also the book Yara-Ma-Yha-Who by Ben Stata, where a young girl must survive from a Yara that stalks her during her birthday out in the outback. And of course, you can find these creatures across YouTube, as they are often talked about in certain YouTube channels, like mine. Which, by the way, y'all should totally check out my Game and React channel and my main YouTube channel, where I have my Creature to Reek playlist. But anyways, enough about that. Conclusion. The Yara-Ma-Yha-Who is one of the most strange and bizarre, yet terrifying and dangerous vampiric creatures that came from Australia. With their suckers that drain blood, ritual of eating, and swallowing and vomiting their prey that may become yet another Yara-Ma-Yha-Who themselves. These little red spirit men of the outback are both a cautionary tale and a boogeyman to keep people safe and sound. So be careful if you rest under a fig tree, for you may never know if you're being targeted by one of Australia's apex manhunters. And with that, that concludes the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who. So, what do you guys think of these strange creatures? Would you like to get near a fig tree? Would you like to be swallowed by one, apparently? Which I know that's a very strange question, but I gotta ask. Or would you like to become one yourself? Which I highly don't recommend. Let me know in the comment section. Okay, yeah, these questions are very weird, but what else can I ask, okay? But anyways, that pretty much concludes this Creature of the Week. Now, for our next Creature of the Week, we're going to be talking about a certain undead warriors that are told in Norse mythology. If you guys know what creature I'm talking about, I hope you guys are excited for it. But that's going to be a bit, because unfortunately, I do have some news. Which I'm going to blow myself up a bit. So, pretty much a Yarsa event is going on that me and my family are doing. And I'm pretty much gonna have to like help out with that and all that. So because of that, I'm probably not gonna be on here to stream for the next couple of days. Which I'm actually gonna do like a short stream after this to let people know about that. So yeah, I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna try to come back either Friday night or Saturday night or so. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to see you guys pretty soon. But until then, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Thank you guys for coming on this fantastic Creature of the Week stream. I hope y'all had as much fun as I did. We got to learn about the Yara-Ma-Yha-Who and their strange hunting ways. And if you wish to see more of these creatures, check me out on my Twitch page, check me out on Twitter, also check me out on my Game and React and my main YouTube channel. And with that, I bid this show adieu and this class adjourned. So see you guys. So long. Bye bye. Okay, bye.